السلام عليكم. أحب بجميع الحضور باسم لجنة مينيسوتا، لجنة ندوات مينيسوتا. اليوم حنكون مستضيفين إن شاء الله المخرج طارق عبد الخالق. آم، طارق هو من مينيسوتا، إننا من مينيسوتا. هو حاليا في كاليفورنيا، وهو صانع سينما، مخرج سينمائي، وحاليا شغال على البروجكت بتاعه. فحيكلمنا أكثر عن الفيلم وعن البروجكت اللي هو شغال عليه بإذن الله. الميتنج حتكون هايبريد، هنتكلم عربي وإنجليزي، بحيث إنه كل الناس تقدر آه، تكون عندها إمكانية لفهم الكلام. ده مرات بيكون في إشكال خصوصا مع الأجيال، والفروقات بين الأجيال مرات بيكون في حاجز اللغة مع بعض الأجيال الأصغر من السكند جنريشن ولا الثيرد جنريشن السودانيين بيكونوا موجودين هنا. فتسلموا شديد. فطارق ممكن تفضل يعني let us know about yourself more and about
Mhm.
your film experience, or what triggered actually your interest in filmmaking.
ايوه ايوه، السلام عليكم يا جماعة. كيف حالكم؟ انا من بحري
أيوة.
انا من بحري وامي من بحري وابوي من عطبرة. um I started making films because the first time I actually inquired in theater was actually in Sudan. Um, my dad and used to write and direct plays, and my mother also is a very gifted musician. So the arts have always been a part of my family, but nobody had the courage to go pursue them except me. um, أهلي كلهم محامية. um, but I got to the States. I went to the University of Minnesota. I studied
Mhm.
business at the University of Minnesota. And I moved to LA and I worked in advertising for a bit, but my passion was definitely for film. So I started making films with the friends that I made out here, and one thing led to another. And I became a rep screenwriter through Gotham Group. It's a very big screenwriting firm that represents writers here in Los Angeles. And I just want to make stories that represents people from Sudan specifically, because every single story out here in Hollywood, we are rarely represented. Nobody really knows anything about us. When they think African, it's mostly West African. If they see a Sudanese person, they assume we're Ethiopian, which is nothing wrong with being Ethiopian, but we have our own identity, we have our own culture, we have our own history, and I think it needs to be honored. They don't know anything about Sudanese culture at all. And my goal with this film is to shine a light on who we are and control the narrative um, about our people from a new perspective, through a comedic perspective specifically, because we are some of the funniest people I think in the world. We always find a reason to laugh no matter how much we're going through. So it's a funny story about it's a Ramadan story, and it's about a Sudanese guy who's trying to deal with the dual realities of being in America, but also have a Sudanese family at home. And we talk about mental health because we don't really have the space or the resources to talk about mental health while our parents have come to the United States and their main focus is um, they brought us here. They have to work. This is the best that they could do. And I think it's up to our generation to focus on this challenge collectively. The new generation is to focus on this because we have the resources to do this.
جميل جميل. ممكن أنا actually I'll share the link that you shared
Hmm.
الفيديو عن الفيلم نفسه, so people can have a better understanding regarding what the film is about. So just a minute.
Amazing.
مش شايفين، ما عملتوا شير للسكرين.
محمد
اه
الفيديو ما قاعد.
okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. طيب, let me share. Just a minute. Let's see. Okay. I'm sorry about this. Okay, looks better now.
قاعد.
Okay.
Sudanese, or you're from Sudan? Where's that? That's a country? Alaikum. Hi, hello, what's happening? Assalamu alaikum. My name is Tariq of الخالق, and I'm making a film about a young Sudanese man who tries to fight his uncle at a Ramadan dinner. Yes, it's absurd. Yes, it's a comedy, but it's honest. Now you might be thinking, how dare I make a short comedic film right now with what's currently going on in Sudan? Shouldn't I be fundraising for something a bit more serious? And you're right, there are way more pressing matters right now that deserve urgent attention. But let's not forget something important. Art is a form of resistance. For far too long, Sudanese stories have been told almost exclusively through a Western lens of war and genocide. Most people don't know anything about us, and half the time don't even believe that we're from Sudan. How many times have you heard, but you don't look Sudanese? Or, you're from Sudan? Where's that? That's a country? And this one right here sucks. How come y'all speak Arabic? I thought Africans spoke African. Yeah, I've gotten that a few times. It's wild. I genuinely believe that proximity leads to empathy, and empathy leads to accountability. When people see how we laugh, how we love, how we argue, or how we laugh at the most inappropriate times, they'll not only get to see a side of Sudanese culture, but they'll get to see themselves in us. And then they'll start to see us as people too. As a Sudanese person, I've seen how mental health struggles can be sometimes minimized or completely misunderstood in our community. Now that's not out of cruelty, okay, maybe just a little bit, but it's actually out of survival. For those of us who left Sudan, our parents mostly focused on keeping food on the table and a roof over our head. Rarely did we have the space or the time or the resources or even the language to talk about the trauma that we've been through. But that trauma doesn't go away. It comes out in the most weirdest ways. In our households, in our relationships, and most of the time it comes out at the most inconvenient moments. This story is about that moment. The story follows Majid, played by me, a young Sudanese guy who's struggling with his anger issues. I promise I don't got anger issues in real life. Maybe. Anyways, this is an immigrant story, so you know his family makes things way worse. Everybody in his family knows exactly how to get under his skin. His younger brother, his South Sudanese cousin, his mom, his uncle. Oh man, his uncle. So he comes up with this brilliant idea to fight his uncle at a Ramadan dinner. He thinks this will fix everything. Genius, right? Man, this guy is crazy. The pressure builds slowly and slowly and slowly until it finally comes out. And when it comes out, it's not pretty. Even though the subject matter of this film is heavy, this isn't a sad story. It's more of a dramedy. Because in most African and immigrant homes, humor is how we survive. We joke, we deflect, we roast each other, and we laugh it all out to avoid the pain. The comedy isn't in there to make light of the trauma. It's there to tell the truth. This story shows Sudanese people in a different light. Not through war, not through genocide, but through everyday life. In our humor, our tension, our love, our conflict, and our humanity. We deserve to be seen in our full complexity. We're looking to raise $18,000 to produce this film with a professional cast and crew. This funding will not only allow us to shoot safely and responsibly, but it will also give us the opportunity to tell this story without cutting any corners. And most importantly, we can bring an authentic Sudanese film to film festivals and audiences that rarely get to see stories like this. That is our mission. And if you've made it this far, and this story resonates with you, whether you felt the weight of family expectations, or used humor just to get by, or you just want Sudanese stories to be told with more authenticity and care, we'd be honored to have your support. And if you can't contribute, just sharing this campaign will make a difference. We appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for your time.
Okay. So that was our video.
Nice.
I hope everybody was able to hear that.
Nice. So حاليا يعني can you tell us more about what are you at with like in what stage are you in the process of a
Yeah.
fundraiser and the preparation for the film itself.
Yeah, so we have raised over $11,660 so far, and we still have about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks left before the fundraiser ends. The support has been overwhelming. It's been amazing to see our community come together and really want to see this film, especially the support that came from outside of our community, the friends and the acquaintances, the allies of the Sudanese people, the Americans, and even abroad. I've had a lot of people from Japan actually who have supported this film. They've raised a significant amount of money for this film through the friends and acquaintances that I've made through the years. And a lot of Americans have supported this film. They want to see this film made. Where we at right now is we have a very strong team. We have our location booked for May 3rd to May 8th. Everybody is getting there halfway. We are halfway casted. I still need to cast the mom and a couple of Sudanese uncles. So if anybody is in this chat right now who wants to act and is willing, yeah, okay, I see. We have Saif is right there. I see you raising your hand. If anybody is thinking about acting, we are shooting in LA. If you would like to audition for some of these roles, you can email me. I will put my email in the chat because I'm trying to make an authentic Sudanese story and I'm only casting Sudanese people. The team is comprised of, I have Emmanuel right now, Emmanuel the comedian. He's a South Sudanese comedian. He's actually based in Minnesota right now as well. I just linked up with him and he was the first person that I casted in this film. I did it. I just told him I have an idea. And before I even sent him the script or told him anything, he was already saying, let's go. He was already on board. He was just eager to create with another Sudanese person. And a main objective for me in this film is to showcase all of Sudan. So I'm trying to put a lot of unity between South Sudan and Sudan. That's why I mean, some of these characters are based on my real family members. Like my cousin is from South Sudan. He's from Juba, and Emmanuel is playing a version of my cousin in this. And then we also have people who are prominent Sudanese creators right now in the space from my generation. We have Mina the girl. She's been very active and she's an activist online. We have Abu Bakr Sadiq. He's from the East Coast. He's agreed to come and partner with us. Our main partner that started this with us is called Najwa Foundation. They're a Sudanese nonprofit that is based out of Michigan, and they help displaced refugees, specifically in Sudan and Chad and the neighboring countries in Africa. They are actually putting on a Sudanese Synergy Summit as well in the following weekend in Michigan State University. I will be there speaking on a panel about Sudan. And also I'll be fundraising and I'll be performing my music. I'm also a musician, so I will be performing there as well. It's a very exciting time for us. But so far we have $11,660 raised. We have the location booked. The team is ready, and we're almost done casting. And yeah, we are looking for support though. So if it doesn't just have to come through monetary value, if you have a way of sending us Sudanese art in the mail, or if you have any connections out here in Los Angeles of Sudanese families that would be willing to donate any Sudanese memorabilia so we can make this really authentic in the production design of this, that is also a huge help to us. So that's kind of a summary of where we're at.
Nice, جميل جميل. So يعني process wise things are set up inshallah to start in May 3rd بإذن الله shooting wise. يعني can you tell us more about actually the process for the auditions? How did it go and
Yeah.
كيف المسألة مشت يعني مع ال actors نفسهم اللي انت how did the process go يعني overall?
Yeah, the process has been very easy so far in terms of the people that we've casted. We're casting prominent creators already that have previous background experience. But as far as the rest of the roles go, I will put my email and we will send you directions. If you have an audition, if you want to audition for this, you can just email me and the process will be very simple. We'll send you a few lines to read on camera. Nothing fancy. You can just use your phone, send it back to us, and then we'll do it very quickly. We'll make our decisions probably in a week. And then after you get casted, we will have a table read via Zoom so everybody can meet each other. We'll read the whole script, and then so everybody gets their chemistry and gets to know each other. And then from there, we'll shoot in May, the first week of May. As far as the film goes, I know the video explained a lot about it, but for simple terms, it's about a Sudanese guy. I'll be playing the Sudanese guy, and I'll be directing the whole film. His name is Majid, and he has anger issues, and he doesn't know where his anger issues comes from. So he decides to fight his uncle at a Ramadan dinner because his therapist, again, he's hiding therapy from his mother because, therapy in our community is kind of a bit of a taboo subject. But he's, raised in America, and he's trying to get a hold of this dual reality that he has behind being a Sudanese American and also being somebody who's tied to Sudan. And this is a phenomenon that happens in our community quite a bit. A lot of it's like an extreme version of culture shock when you were raised in Sudan and you come here. So a lot of mental health issues arise for Sudanese young men. And this is something I want to talk about through comedy in the film. And the whole idea is that he decides to fight his uncle at a Ramadan dinner, and it kind of blows up in his face. But it's showcasing quite a few things that we have to deal with in our community. And it's not supposed to solve the problems, but this short film is supposed to help us begin a conversation around mental health and kind of make it a little bit more normalized to talk about mental health in our community.
Yeah, indeed, it's an important issue for sure that needs to be addressed actually. And like historically, actually, it's funny because
Yeah.
historically it's been addressed previously. Yani, Sudan is not well known for filmmaking, but there were a
Mhm.
few films that was made previously in Sudan, and a couple of them actually, one that I recall from the early 80s, made
Mhm.
by a film director Ali Abdel Qayyum. It
Yep. Yep.
addresses actually the Zar tradition in Sudan and how it
Mm.
is offers as a space actually for women to be able to release some of the tension and some of the
Mhm.
psychological issues that comes with oppression, all of this kind of complexities that societies sometimes struggle with. So yeah, and
Exactly.
it's a very interesting actually thing that's been tackled and addressed, and it's an interesting area actually that people need to shed more light into, especially with all the struggles that especially younger people are struggling with all the pressures coming from
Agreed.
society,
Agreed.
yeah, society, and at a different level. So, يعني,
Mhm.
uh, uh, يعني it's a matter that needs a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
attention.
it's
Mm.
a very important matter, and I think another main objective for me for this film is the Western media has portrayed Sudan in such a negative light. It's only showing Sudanese people and the history of Sudan through war and genocide. We have never gotten our flowers for how much our beautiful nation has contributed, not just to Africa, but the entirety of human civilization. We have the oldest history in the world that competes with Egyptian history, and nobody really knows anything about this. We have a very rich, diverse culture and a diverse community of people. We have over 600 tribes, and they try to categorize us in so many different ways that it's just not accurate, and it's not an honorable portrayal of who we are as a people. Sudanese people are more than just the Western ideologies of war and genocide. We have beautiful, beautiful people of all shades, of all colors. We have a rich, long history. We have our own beautiful version of Arabic that no other Arabic can compete with. أحسن عربي في الدنيا عربي سوداني والله. There's so much to us that is not known to the world, and especially with how much we contribute to the world. And I want this film to be a beginning. I want it to be the beginning piece to us as a people to take back our narrative and to also demand more stories from us that is not just based on the suffering that we've endured throughout the years. Because we, like I said, we're so much more than that. We're a beautiful rich people. And every single time somebody talks to us, they speak our praises. They say Sudanese people are the most hospitable people. They say we're the funniest people. They say we're the most beautiful people. The world needs to know these things about us. And I want to start doing that with one of these short films. And then subsequently, I have so many other films planned with other Sudanese creators that are about Sudanese people through comedy, through drama, through horror, through so many different things that I want this to be. The people that have reached out to me after this are already excited about the next project, which is incredible to see, which tells me that my theory of the demand for our film and our art is going to be extraordinary.
جميل، تشكر. احنا ممكن نفتح باب الأسئلة للحضور.
Yes.
اوريدي أستاذ سيف الدين رافع يده، فتفضل أستاذ سيف الدين بالسؤال.
طيب، شكرا جزيلا. Thank you our brothers, sister Sana and Muhammad Farah for bringing this issue, and also thank you الخالق,
That's me.
artist طارق الخالق. Yeah. First of all, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam.
And my name is Sefaldin Harun. And I think this is first time to join, this kind of discussion. And the reason, because I'm very close to this, profession. I used to be in Sudan as a former producer. Used to work in the Ministry of Culture and Information. So I'm a graduate from High Institute of Music and Drama, what it's called now the College of Music and Drama in Sudan. And so for the reason of the conflict in Sudan, I just migrated and I came here to US since 2000. And also I joined some studies here in colleges, radio and TV production. Maybe many people, they don't know that. And also I do some drama. I'm an actor.
Amazing.
And it might be, this is for you, is going to be a good sign. So, and I think I'm going to be one of the big supporter for you.
That is lovely. That is amazing to hear.
I mean, and I'll be able to come to you there in wherever. I don't know. Are you in LA or?
Yeah, I live in LA right now, in Los Angeles.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And also I have my daughter. She's a writer. She's in LA right now. Her name is
really?
Laura.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
famous. She was here in Minnesota. Maybe you know her, Abdullah and Sanan. She's very, very talented.
Amazing. I'd love to meet her. I'd love to meet her.
Yeah, I will, make you guys be in touch, and I will be there, and I'm gonna be one of your cast.
All right. He's not asking. He's saying.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think that's the thing what we are looking for, and also I'm listening to your discussion, and I see one of the challenges in Sudan. You mentioned it, the film industry or the cinema industry here in the Western, they just reflect Sudan as a conflict area.
Mm-hmm.
And the others, they don't see, just they see the bad images, the war, refugees come, IDBs come, I don't know, it's drawn, and, the cruel of the war. That's what has been, reflected in the, screen, even in the TV. And I think that's one of your role, to change this, the image, these images. افتكر للناس اللي ما اعرف بيكون عندنا ناس برضه بيتكلموا العربي. انا سعيد جدا، زي ما قلت انا سيف الدين هارون، انا زول برضه، انا كبير، ام سينيور، لكن الخلفيه بتاعتي برضه خلفيه بتاعت يعني ارتس بتاعت فنون ابداع وكده، وانا خريج كليه الدراما والموسيقى، ودرست طبعا مخرج، يعني اصلا مخرج، وبرضه بشتغل في مجال الدراما والاكتنج والتمثيل وكده وغيره، بالاضافه لعملي الاعلامي. وجيت امريكا طبعا من 2000 2002، وبرضه اخذت بعض الدراسات هنا في امريكا، وبرضه بشتغل بقدم بعض الشغل في MTN هنا، مينيابوليس تيلي كوميونيكيشن نتورك، ده كان في مينيابوليس، وبرضه في CTV 15 ده هنا في روزفيل. حاليا بشتغل مع ناس SPNN ده هنا في سيمبول، وكنت بعمل برنامج للسودانيين كوميونتي ده لونج تايم. فافتكر انه نحن حنكون لك باك اب في الشغل بتاعك، يعني ندعم ابننا عبد الخالق. انا اول مره طبعا اشوفه، اول مره اسمع به، وانا ما كنت قاعد اشارك في الندوات بتاعت مينيسوتا دي، لكن افتكر الايشو ده لانه في مجال شغلنا، يعني كنت حريص انه لازم اشوف الندوه دي او السيشن ده. انا كنت ما في، كنت برا في افريقيا وجيت قريب يعني. I came recently from Uganda. ان شاء الله. انا شخصيا، انا بتكلم عن نفسي شخصيا، كسبورت او كدعم للشغل ده، حاقف معاك في العمل الفني. دي حاجات بنعرفها انا وهو، يعني يمكن الاخرين ما يعرفوا. في البروسيسز ده بنعرفه نحن. وان شاء الله انا بجي في LA، وعندي بنت دعاء برضها، هي برضها تخرجت من هنا من مينيسوتا، لكن الان مشت الى لوس انجلوس، وهي بتكتب. بتكتب كان للرابر، وبرضه شيز ميوزيشن برضه، ده بالاضافه لدراسات مختلفه. لكن الان معظم الفنانين دائما بيكونوا درسوا شيء، السودانيين يعني، لكن في النهايه بيجوا بيمارسوا الشغل الفني، الارتس. كلنا عملنا كده يعني. عبد الخالق ده لازم نقيف معاونا، we have to support him. انا ما بتكلم امكانات ماديه ما عندنا، لكن بندعم دعم فني ويعني ونفسي وايموشنالي، ده كله ان شاء الله لازم ندعمك، لانه ده الحاجه الوحيده اللي إننا احنا من خلالها نقدر نعكس السودان الحقيقي، يعني ريل السودان and real Sudanese. دي فرصه انا افتكر انه يجب انه يعني نستغلها وندعم ابننا عبد الخالق، وانا امريد يعني. شكرا جزيلا. ثانك يو.
تسلم، شكرا لك.
شكرا لك سيف، شكرا لك والله. Wow, I'm very moved. I'm very moved. It's another reason I wanted to make this film is I wanted to bring Sudanese people together, and I wanted to reconnect with as many Sudanese people as possible. So having you willing to come out to LA and help us and support us is more than I could ever ask for. As far as the other ways of supporting, I know that Sana put the link to donate on the chat. It's called Seed and Spark. That is the platform that we are using. It's the preferred platform because they don't take any money from the campaign funds. They just we just pay the credit card fees, and also we don't need to raise the entirety of the funds. We need to raise in order to unlock the funds. If you do something like a Kickstarter, which is another platform, you have to raise the entire budget. Otherwise, you get nothing. But with Seed and Spark, you only have to raise 80% of the budget in order to unlock the funds and have access to the funds. Right now, we're about $2,740 away, $2,740 away from hitting the green light zone, which is 80% of our budget, which will allow us to unlock the entirety of the budget. So if you can donate to that in any shape, way, or form, that would really help us out. All the donations are tax deductible, so you can write them off in your taxes if you're in the United States, because we are working with Nejwa Foundation, which is a Sudanese nonprofit that helps Sudanese refugees who have been displaced. They are one of our main partners in this, and they have come through, and again, they are putting together a Sudanese Synergy Summit next weekend. So if you are in Michigan and near Michigan State University, I will be there speaking on a panel, and I'll be there performing my music on April 11th and April 12th. But yeah, the link is in the chat. It's very easy. All you have to do is click the button that says make a pledge. It's a blue button. You do not have to tip the platform. Do not you do not have to tip the platform. The platform has an automatic feature that makes you want to tip, but all you have to do is put 0 in that feature and click next. They're going to try to manipulate you to tip. You do not have to tip. Just if you have a donation amount, put the donation amount and then put 0 for the tip. And yeah, that will help us out. We are very close. We are very close to unlocking this and making this film come true. And to have the support of the Sudanese community on this is everything I could have asked for, honestly, especially as a young Sudanese creator trying to reconnect with our community. Yeah, we have to take back our narrative. We have to take back our narrative. They do not speak about us right. They don't know anything about us. And as Sudanese people, we have to preserve our history, preserve our culture, and we also have to preserve the new generation's culture as well. Because there's a lot of Sudanese across the diaspora who are either born in Sudan and moved to the United States or moved to parts of Europe. And they're having a dual identity as well, whether they're British Sudanese or they are German and Sudanese. That aspect of our culture is growing. And having something like this will allow them to feel seen and encourage them to be a part of their culture even more. Because there's this weird phenomenon that happens to young Sudanese people across the diaspora when they come to a new country. It's through this process of assimilation that you want to reject your roots. And it's not until later in life that you realize that your roots is all that you have, your heritage is all that you have in this world. And I want to make that process easier for people across the diaspora, because I don't want to wait until it's too late. They should always cherish their roots. And if we have more narratives that showcase the dual realities of a Sudanese and a Sudanese American, it will encourage the next generations to preserve our culture and preserve our heritage.
جميل جميل طارق، تسلم شديد. يعني دي من النقاط المهمة جدا، و يعني نرجو جميع الحضور بإذن الله، الناس تساعد بقدر المستطاع، لأنه دي حاجة مهمة جدا من ناحية ما بس دعم العمل الفني والسينمائي نفسه، لكن عملية البرودكشن بتاعت الحاجة دي ما بتتم من غير مجهودنا. وفي النهاية هي ريبرزنتيشن لنا، يعني هي الحاجة دي هتكون تمثيل للسودانيين نفسهم، وحاجة بتخلق جزء من صورتنا عن نفسنا واحنا في المجتمع اللي احنا عايشين فيه وموجودين فيه. فطارق اوريدي شير اللينك اصلا موجوده. استاذ سناء شير اللينك للفند اللي هي السيد سبارك دي، واللينك هي اللي هو البلاتفورم دي. فضلوا طارق لانه فيه ميزه انك ما بتحتاج انك تغطي المبلغ بصورة كاملة. وقت ما تصل ل 80% من قيمة الفند اللي بتقدر تسحب المبلغ وتشتغل تبدأ شغل منه. وغير إنه غير إنه المسألة دي يعني مهمة جدا بالنسبة لطبيعة العمل نفسه، لأنه ما في عمل، مع الأسف ما في عمل سينمائي أو عمل فني أو أي عمل من الأعمال بيتم من غير الجانب المادي دي اللي هو الجانب المالي. فنتمنى من الناس كلها انها تشارك ان شاء الله. واللينك موجود. البلاتفورم بخد زي اوبشن لانك تعمل زي تيب او تديهم حاجه كتبرع، لكن ما في حوجه لها. ممكن القيمه بتاعتها تخطى صفر، وحتى بس القيمه بتاعت التبرع اللي عايز الشخص انه يتبرع به هو للفند ريزر دي. في النهايه يعني كلنا حنكون مشاركين في الحاجه دي. يعني that's part of it، انه كيف الناس تكون جزء من العمليه بتاعت الصناعه دي باستطاعتها، سواء كان زي بالاستطاعه بتاعته، كل زول على قدر قدرته وخلفيته كده. تسلم. لو في اي اسئله تانية لاستاذ طارق، المجال مفتوح لكل الحضور، فاي شخص عنده رغبه انه يسال او كده يتفضل يرفع يده يعني.
Can someone share the donation link in the chat? Donation link جوا هنا ده. الدونيشن لينك في الشات هسي.
I reshared it. هي كان قاعده اب، لكن I reshared it. I sent it again. فهي حتكون اخر لينك الموجوده دي. سيدان سبارك هو البلاتفورم الموجوده فيه. تفضل أستاذ حافظ. أستاذ حافظ خير، أنت شايفك رافع يدك، فتفضل لو سامعني.
Salam wa tahaya to everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we do.
Salam.
ممتاز. السلام للجميع. ويعني من البداية لازم نعلن سبورتنا ودعمنا الكبير لطارق عبد الخالق، المخرج وكاتب السيناريو. وأنا برضو طبعا عندي خلفية لبعض الناس اللي بيعرفوني في علاقة بالمسرح والإنتاج التلفزيوني والإنتاج السينمائي، وعملت بعض الأفلام القصيرة، ومهتم جدا ب يعني الإنتاجات السينمائية الجديدة اللي قاعد تطلع مننا كلنا كسودانيين في كل الدياسبورا وحتى داخل السودان. وطبعا I don't know if you know طارق, and I'm sure you are aware there is what you can call really a Sudanese filmmaking movement that has been kind of getting on track in the last few years.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so you are part of a very nice growing movement that we are seeing. We are seeing Sudan in different, ways because of these filmmakers. يعني طبعا لو جبنا أسماءهم كلهم يعني كثيرين يعني، وفيهم some are in Europe, some are in the Arab world, in الخليج وكده يعني, which is really good. And obviously there was also some experiences here that started earlier, even in LA, by the way, or at least in the Bay Area. I can't remember where exactly, but there was a very good film also made about a short story by Al-Tayyib Saleh. It was filmed in Sudan, but it was all produced from LA or from California in general. يعني. So يعني all the support. We're looking forward to see the film as it materialize. So just to give you some questions so you can tell us more about yourself.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a short film. Okay, how short? Is it like a really short film or a medium short, whatever? That's number one. And please, I want to know more about your experience. You said you worked for a screenwriting company that represents screenwriters or writers of films in general.
Yes.
And so even though you came from a business background, but you got into this. So tell us about your experience and how you got excited about this, and especially the screenwriting side, because that's not many people. This is a very needed, much needed profession in our area. You know, there is lots of directors, but you don't have screenwriters. You know.
Yes. These are all very, very, very good questions. Let me start with answering your first question. This is a short film. It is about 25 minutes. I'm trying to keep it under 25 minutes so it qualifies us to the major festivals like Sundance and South by Southwest, Berlin, Toronto Film Festival, and Cannes Film Festival. I'm trying to keep it under 25 minutes. I'll obviously shoot more than 25 minutes. I'll probably end up shooting 28 minutes to have an extended version for a different platforms. Like for, let's say if we have a private screening, we can shoot the extended version, but there will be a festival version of this film. And my experience, I went to the University of Minnesota. I went to the Carlson School of Management there. I graduated on the dean's list. And I studied psychology as well. And I did a lot of theater electives. I had a lot of time on my hands. After I graduated, I went to Los Angeles and I worked at an advertising agency. It's a huge advertising agency called Saatchi & Saatchi. I was in account management. And then I started to work on more creative stuff. I took more classes after I graduated, specifically in the creative field for creative writing, specifically for creative writing in the advertising space. And that led to me getting clients and working privately for any creative field. But honestly, it was just a seed for me to believe that I can actually do this creative work because it's always been a part of me. After that, I took a leap of faith. I quit my giant advertising job And everybody thought I was crazy, but because of the support of my parents, and they believed in everything that I could do, I already proved to them that I can get a degree. I already proved to them that I can get a job. They knew I was capable and they trusted me. I decided to jump into this foreign field that I just had a passion for, and I excelled. I excelled very quickly. The first thing that I wrote, people were excited about it. This was the first screenplay I ever wrote. It's called Interracial. It is a web series that we shot and produced in 2019, and we put it on YouTube. And to this day, people go watch Interracial, and I get clients because they watch this first web series that I did. And since then, my writing has become so much stronger and so much better. I've worked with clients from all over the world in screenwriting. One of those clients being Eric Kabera. He's a producing partner of mine. He is from Rwanda. He started the Rwandan Film Institute. He was the only person that started making films on the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. He was the first person that made the film about it. He has an exceptional slate of films since then. Him and I are working on a feature film called Love on a Moto. It's about a white woman that has the bright idea to go save Africa, but Africa ends up saving her. We're turning the white savior idea completely on its head. And again, it's done through comedy. That one is currently in development. The script is done. We have a few producing partners, have about half of the funds for that is raised, but it's contingent upon getting the other funds. So we are working with a lot of other people, taking a lot of different meetings. We have John Turtletop. John Turtletop is a big director here in LA. He's attached on board as an executive producer. He's a dear friend of Eric Cabera. And he's I've actually met him. He read my script. He gave us notes on our script. He loves my writing. He is a huge director. He has directed all the National Treasure films with Nicolas Cage. He's done the Sorcerer's Apprentice, all those Jason Statham films. He is a huge director here in LA, and I'm very fortunate and blessed to be able to meet him and get direction and notes from him, specifically on my screenwriting. What else? I'm also working on a show right now. One of my friends is a pop star here in LA. I mean, he's a pop star all over the world. You don't have to be in LA to be a pop star. But anyway, he's a famous musician here in LA. You've probably heard some of his songs on the radio. He wants to transition into TV. He, again, watched my first web series, Interracial. He liked my writing. So I wrote the pilot and directed the pilot sizzle reel for his and I's pilot. It's a TV show that he wants to take to networks. We're currently in development for that. And I just got a showrunner interested in the project. So I'm working with the showrunner to get that film into the right hands. So I'm a very busy person right now, as you can see. But all of these projects take a while to make because when you're working with bigger budgets, when you're working with bigger producers and bigger names, there's a lot of hands that it has to go through before we can actually get it made on a network. That being said, that should not stop me from making my individual voice, which is why I want to put Sudanese voices at the forefront of what I'm doing right now, which is why I'm making this film. I'm going to start with a short film because it's easier to get a short film done than try to get a whole feature done. But a short film can turn into a feature if we take it to festivals, if we get the attention that we need, which I'm sure, inshallah, we will get the attention and get the people and the partners that we need with this short film. It's supposed to be a proof of concept that could lead to either a TV show or maybe we expand it into a larger feature. Both of those are ready to go. I originally wrote this short film as a TV show. I have the TV show written. It's already done. This version of it is going to be so that we can take it to festivals to gauge interest. So I have an extensive slate of films and experience that I've worked on specifically in screenwriting, which is why I got repped by Gotham Group. Gotham Group reps a lot of big writers here. They're a management firm. They manage high clientele. If you've seen any of the Percy Jackson films, they rep the writers that made that. And again, it's because they watched my first web series, Interracial, and they were impressed. So this first thing that I wrote here in LA, in a passion that I didn't have any experience, keeps feeding me. And it just shows me that this is my passion. This is the true calling that's been gifted to me from God himself to actually go and pursue this. And since then, my writing has improved tremendously, which is crazy to even think about. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. That's about what I'm working on. I'm a very busy person, but I want to put Sudanese voices at the forefront of what I'm doing right now, and then the rest of my projects from all over the world with my with my current clients will come after that. But it's Sudan's time right now, and I think that's the most important thing to me is my people and and raising Sudanese voices across the diaspora.
جميل، إن شاء الله تمنياتنا لك بكل توفيق في رحلتك دي. في أي أشخاص تاني عندهم أسئلة لأستاذ طارق؟
Now is the time to ask any question. I'm a very open book.
تفضل أستاذ أحمد.
السلام عليكم. أنا ما عندي سؤال حقيقة، بس داير أعبر عن سعادتي يعني. أو do I have to speak in English or it's okay؟
ممكن العربي معاي، العربي معاي قوي والله. ممكن نتكلم بالعربي، لكن لما أتكلم بالإنجليزي عشان أحسن كده في الفيلم حقي.
Okay, I understand that. لأنه my daughter also struggling with this.
لكن العربي معاي، بس العربي البحري.
كويس. أنا أحمد تجاني، لكن اللقب بتاعي أحمد باص. and I'm a musician. I graduated from Institute of Music and Drama in Sudan long time ago.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
And I'm located in Los Angeles, by the way.
Wow.
I am. Yes.
Where in Los Angeles?
I live in Torrance.
Oh, great. I used to live in Torrance.
Okay, yeah. So right now
I'm in West Hollywood now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're right now you are in Los Angeles.
I live in Los Angeles. Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm right here.
I thought you are in Minnesota because
No. I'm in Los Angeles.
it was just أنا بس بالصدفة يعني لقيت on Facebook يعني الزوم ويعني I'm very interested in it, and I really thank you for what you're doing. I just want to express my appreciation.
أحمد أنا حطيت الإيميل حقي في الشات.
Yes.
رسل لي بالايميل.
اوكي.
وممكن نمشي نشوف قهوه ولا حاجه نتكلم ثاني.
ان شاء الله. There are a lot of people actually. I'm sure they would love to help يعني. بعدين أنا بس one question. Were you in this part of the film that was made by, I don't know who's the producer, but I think Mamdouh Saleh. Do you know Mamdouh Saleh?
No, I don't have an extended network of Sudanese filmmakers.
Because they made a film, also a short film. Somebody mentioned it. I think my brother Saifuddin Harun mentioned that. It's called Hifna Tamr, something, handful of dates. That's the film. The short
yes,
film.
I know this one.
Handful. So
I know him. He's Hisham.
Hisham, yes.
Yes, I know him. I know
the guy who did the filming, I think his name is Mamdouh. He's your age actually. He lives in Arizona.
Okay.
He's in Arizona, yeah, also. But there are a lot of people in Los Angeles. You know that. I don't know if you're not in touch maybe with the community here.
I'm in touch to an extent.
But not that much. Yeah,
I know the Malik brothers. They invite me to a lot of these
Malik,
events.
okay, yes.
Yeah. And I'm trying to get more connected with the community out here.
Beautiful,
because I know it's a hub here.
Yeah. So I'm just happy to be in this Zoom right now to know all about this. This is a big, like a very ambitious work to be done to our community actually, because we need that. We need to discuss many things that happens in our households, and it's very challenging. It's very challenging, especially for our youth people. And as for me as an educator also, I know that because right now I work at schools. So I got my master's degree in music education, and I'm teaching in public schools, and I can see the challenges that faces the parents and our children, how to communicate. It's a lot of problems going on, and we need to work on that. That's one of my things that I try to address these issues with our community. But I definitely need some help too in this in this area, because the understanding is a little bit difficult for some parents probably. So
I agree.
um,
I think I hear an echo. Is there a way we could put on mute so it's a little distracting? Let's see. There we go. Can everybody still hear me better? Okay. Yeah, I want to piggyback on everything you said, Ahmed. I think it's a very important topic for us to connect with the youth, because it is okay. Here's a lot of my fear. As somebody that has moved to LA right out of college, I didn't have access to my parents as frequently as other Sudanese people who did. So I've been in LA for about 11 years, and I get to go back. Fortunately, I get to go back enough times, but it's not the same. Like in Sudan, our grandparents are in the home with us. There's always a connection. We speak Arabic in the home all the time. And when you come to the United States, it's a hybrid. You speak Arabic and you speak English, but you don't lose it. You're eating your Sudanese cuisine. You're doing everything that you can to have close proximity to your roots. And I think as time has gone by, my biggest fear is that the new generation will lose a lot of our heritage from just being so separated. And because the state of Sudan that is in right now, we don't have the luxury of going back as often. So it needs to be an important initiative for us to figure out a way to connect the previous generation to the new generation. It's going to be growing pains, but it's an important step in order for us to preserve everything that we have built as Sudanese. We're in a very fragile state right now. And the best medium to do that is through art and it's through narrative. It's because every single time we see ourselves on screen or we see ourselves in any form of art, it makes us feel seen. It makes us feel proud of who we are. And my goal is to extend this feeling of pride to the new generation and hopefully build some sort of connection. Like I said, I can't solve the problems, but as a filmmaker, as an artist, I can shine the light on them so that we can begin to have a conversation about this. It's necessary for our community. I think it's should be at the forefront of our community in terms of just how we talk about mental health, because this is a new generation and this is a new world. When I was in high school, there are certain things that I dealt with in high school that my parents didn't have, the knowledge to help me with. And that's not to blame them. It's just to understand that this is a new world that we're living in. And we have to find a way to talk to each other and find solutions that benefit both generations for the goodness of our entire people.
Thank you.
You got it. I have my email in here. Please, anybody who is in LA or anybody who wants to connect with me, please email me. I can add you on Facebook. I can put, if you're on Instagram, I'll put my Instagram on there. You can follow me. Yeah, I'll put my Instagram on there right now. That's where I do a lot of my Sudanese content. That's geared towards the Sudanese community. You might have seen me already, but let me see. I'll find it right now. If I can. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. I'll put my Instagram in the chat before I leave, but I don't want to mess up the video right now. But please follow me, and you can also find me on the Seed and Spark page. If you're here in LA and Saif Al-Din, please email me as well. If you have any questions navigating the website to do a donation, email me. I will help you navigate it. If you want, I can also do a video and I'll post it on my Instagram to show people how to donate as well. If you think that is necessary, I got you. I will make it happen. I see a lot of hands that are raised. So we can take questions.
تفضل استاذ تيسير.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
أنا أول حاجة مبسوطة جدا بالفكرة، عجباني جدا الفكرة وفكرة مهمة جدا يعني، وبرضو عاجبني حماسك للعربي، يعني عربي مقفل دي حاجة برضو ممتازة يعني. عندي أسئلة شوية عن الفكرة يعني. What moment or story first sparked the idea for this film؟ وتاني عندي يعني أسئلة عن الفيوتشر. أنت ذكرت قصة الفيستيفالز. Do you hope to screen it also in schools, universities, or cultural centers? And بعدين عاوزة برضو أسأل عن أهم الحاجات اللي أنت ركزت عليها في المواضيع اللي بتهم الأسر السودانية هنا. يعني أنت قلت مدة الفيلم هي 25 دقيقة. يعني أهم الحاجات اللي أنت شايف مهمة إنك أنت كنت عايز تركز على، أنت ذكرت قصة المينتال هيلث وإنك تعمل كونكشنز ما بين البيرنتس ما بين الأبناء يعني. فشكرا جزيلا.
You don't have to thank me. But I appreciate it. It's just my obligation and my duty as a Sudanese person. Let me start by answering your questions. The spark for the idea actually came when I was on a phone call with my mother. She's one of the lawyers here for the Sudanese community. I was talking to her about a beating that I got from my uncle one time when I was in Sudan. And you know, you get الحلة كلها بتدق الأولاد. You know, but this one I remembered it so vividly because I didn't do anything wrong this time. To this day, I will never forget this. And I was talking to my mom about it because it's a funny old story. And I thought about the idea of like, what if I go and fight my uncle now? You know, I'm bigger. You know, I'm a lot stronger. I could probably take him. You know, I could take him in a match. He is taller than me. He was bigger than me, but now I'm a man. You know, and this was just a joke. It was just a joke. It was just a joke. You know that me and my mother shared because you know me and my mom like to joke around a lot, and I'm so thankful that I have a relationship with my mom where I can have this type of dialogue with her that is very like fun and happy. But that small little conversation from my mom sparked the idea of like, wow, I could turn this into some sort of short film because, you know, we don't really talk about mental health. We don't really talk about things that happen in our family. We kind of just forget it and we just move on. And yeah, so I sat with the idea for a while. You know, I didn't really do anything with it, but it just kept coming up. And my mom was the one who actually reminded me of it. She loved it so much. So I thank her every day for that because she pushed me to actually do something with it. Last year, the HBO fellowship program was taking applications out for their fellowship program. I didn't get into the fellowship program, but I'm glad that I went through the process because it forced me to flesh out this entire idea. So I wrote a pilot based on that idea called Yazol. And it's a Sudanese pilot that is based on just a Sudanese American family and the things that we go through as a Sudanese American. And I started the first episode being him wanting, Majid, the character, wanting to fight his uncle. And so I fleshed out that entire idea. I built the world for it. I wrote it in Arabic and in English. So this film will be in Arabic and English. And yeah, I wrote the pilot and it turned out to be something very beautiful. I had my brother read it, and he felt extremely moved and seen by it. And I had a few other Sudanese people read it, and they really liked the idea. So then I took that TV show idea and I cut it down to make this version of it. So as far as the future goes, we can shoot this because since the location is just one house, it's like a 24-hour. It's like it's one Ramadan day, you know. It's one Ramadan day. It's from iftar from Fajr to iftar, right? That's the whole idea. And so we're gonna shoot it, and potentially, if people like it enough at these festivals, I could take it and turn it into the full TV show. Because after that, I only have to shoot a few more scenes to make the whole pilot, and then we could take it and start pitching it. As far as screenings go, I would like to have a few screenings for this with the help of the community. I'd like to screen it in LA to a private audience later this year after we get it done and edited. I'd also like to come to Minnesota and do a screening for the Sudanese community in Minnesota. And obviously, because a lot of my supporters for this, for the $11,000 that we've raised so far, a lot of that came from my friends that I went to college with in Minnesota. And I want to invite them too to come and see this film at a private screening in Minnesota. So ideally, that'd be great. Somebody said Virginia at the chat. If you can help me take it to Virginia, I'll take it to Virginia. I have a team ready to go. It won't be that hard. So wherever I can take this prior to, oh yeah, I got people in Houston too. I see y'all in the chat. I'm trying to hit the main, and Dallas too. Shout out to Dallas. I'm trying to take this to the Sudanese communities that we have here and showcase it before we screen it. All of these will be private screenings though. They won't be official premieres. These will have to be invite only. So if you want to be invited to these screenings, please email me, or if you donate to the fundraiser, I'll have your email and you'll be in the system already. You don't have to donate that much to be in there. But I will just have your email and you'll be a part of the community. So I'll know exactly who to send this to. As far as an official premiere, we'll do the private screenings here to just showcase it. But as far as the official premiere, it has to be, we have to wait to get the decision from Sundance and other festivals, because a lot of these festivals want it to be the first public appearance of the film in order for it to get in there. So all of these screenings, if we do them, inshallah, will be private screenings and they'll be invite only. So if you want to be a part of that, please either donate to the campaign on the Seed and Spark page so you can stay in the loop. And then the last question I think you had was, I just highlighting the importance of all the issues I put in there. Yeah, it's mental health is something that I've personally dealt with quite a bit. And I've done a lot of work on myself personally to get to the point where I feel comfortable with emotional intelligence and conflict resolution. And I think this is something that we don't have the space for in our community. There's too much going on. Like, we're all in survival mode, especially a lot of us who've been displaced, who come from war-torn Sudan. And mental health is something, we're just happy to be out of there, you know? We're just happy to be in an environment that isn't turmoil. So it's difficult adjusting to a new society. And at the same time, there's not really a capacity to work on yourself and work on the relationships that you have between one another, especially in the Sudanese household, because there's a lot of factors that take place, from being a new environment to having old ways of past generational ways of how we communicate with each other. And that's something that I specifically want to highlight in this film. And it's not to demonize, or it's not to show that anything is wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with us as a people. This is just something that we should be talking about in our community. And I think that's where the beauty in all of this lasts, is that we need to celebrate everything that we need to work on through an optimistic lens versus this is something that's negative. No, this is a positive thing for our community versus anything else. I hope I answered all your questions. I see.
تيسير لو سمحت أنا I failed to raise my hand by any means.
تفضل أستاذ. تفضل يا أستاذ. دخلت معلش بس اسمك ما ظاهر لنا فتفضل. لا، ممكن يكون في مشكلة تقنية أو حاجة، فلحد ما تتحل ممكن عندنا أستاذة سلمى رافعة يدها، فتفضلي.
السلام عليكم، اسمي سلمى الشريف، ساكنة هنا في دالاس تكساس. أنا I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota actually. My parents were there forever. They might know you guys. بعد ذاك مشينا الإمارات وبعد ذاك رجعنا هنا. And then I got my bachelor's degree in neuroscience from University of Iowa. So I was in Iowa City for a while.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah, yeah. Then I got my master's in biology from Nashville, Vanderbilt University. And then Hassa fi UT Dallas, I'm a third-year PhD student studying neuroscience. So I feel like the field is so different. Lakin I'm thinking of like all the skills that I could use to help, and writing is one of them. I would love to volunteer with any sort of screenwriting, any sort of editing. I do that all the time in grad school. This is an amazing opportunity. Thank you for منحت لنا الopportunity دي لنا كلنا. And this is beautiful because I feel like there's not enough Sudanese media out here. And we always need more of all of this. So yeah, thank you so much for all of this. And I'd love to help. And then my brother's also name is Tariq, so that's funny.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, of course. Any help and any support that you can provide is much needed. As far as the script goes right now, the script is finished. So I don't need any help in this current project, but that doesn't say that I'm working with Siham from the Nedra Foundation. She studied film as well. And our goal with this specific project is it to be the jump off point for more Sudanese media. So we will need more Sudanese screenwriters because let's say, God willing, inshallah, let's say that this does go into festivals. Let's say that we do make a huge statement, and there's a demand for this. I'm going to need more Sudanese writers because let's say we turn this into a series, it could be Fishnu the series or Yazol the series. I need more stories, and I specifically want more stories from Sudanese women and their experience here in Sudan and here in the United States and across the diaspora. So we will be, hopefully, inshallah, having a writer's room full of Sudanese people. And especially somebody with the background of yourself needs to have a voice.
Yeah, I am interested in going into science communication and kind of making science more accessible to the public. لأنه إحنا scientists, we live in our own world. And it's better to kind of share what we do and connect it to the actual real life that everybody is living in and how everyone can benefit from that. So I'm really interested into going to a science communication career after my PhD, inshallah. But I did have a question. Are you also interested in switching? There's a bunch of talented Sudanese writers, mashallah, that are in our generation. And Zay Safi al-Hilu, and there's like other people who have different stories. Are you interested in making those stories into films? Or do you want to create your own stories solely? I've always wondered how producers, directors, anyone in that realm decides like whether a story should be original. And that kind of came from the idea of watching Sinners and how it was an original movie versus like the movies that were adapted ولا كده, yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait for you guys to meet Siham. She's a very amazing person. She's the co-founder of the Nedra Foundation.
Mashallah.
And every single time, her and I have been talking, and again, I'm going to keep plugging the Sudanese Synergy Summit because I really think this is a special event. But her and I have been talking more from like a macro view, a big picture view about the things that we want to accomplish together outside of this film. We need to be way more organized as a Sudanese community. We have a lot of people in a lot of different fields and a lot of high places. As a community, we need to come together and create more networks between each other so that we can help each other streamline the process. We all know that this entire world is based on who you know and the people that you are connected to. So our goal to start with this film is to branch out to maybe even bigger media organization as completely as a Sudanese, because to be a Sudanese person, you're inherently artistic. You're inherently artistic. That is just who we are as a people. We choose to do the professional degrees because we can do. We're scientific. We're all of these things. But because from the place that we are from, who we are as a people, rooted in our culture, from the music to our writing to our history, we're inherently all an artistic people. So my goal with Siham and from this film is to start a bigger macro project of creating Sudanese stories and narratives, not just with this story. And that includes adapted screenplays. That includes Sudanese stories that we were told as kids, that could be turned into media for us, because that's another version of how we as a people can preserve our culture.
Exactly.
All the stories that were told to us, those, even if they don't all have to be feature films, they could be short films, but because they live on this new medium, allows any new generation of Sudanese to go and look at it, especially with the language gap, because there's going to be like not. I'm fortunate enough to understand Arabic. I'm fortunate enough to read and write in it. However, the next generation might not have the same luxury. So having that recorded on a medium that people can go source at any time and post it on the internet or in our own Sudanese library is very important for us, especially since with the current destruction of Sudan, so much has been lost already. And part of our duty in my generation, the way I see it, is to preserve everything that we know about Sudan and also take back our narrative. Like, that is the most important thing for me, because if you it's the main reason that a lot of Sudan has been under this is because we've let other people tell our narrative.
Exactly.
So we as a people have to take control of that, and you do that through media, and you do that through all the organizations and all the networks that we can build from this, because we have way too many talents as a people not to create the infrastructure for us to thrive, and for not only us but for future generations to thrive. We have to build the pipeline, we have to build the infrastructure for this, so that our kids and their kids can know where to go or who to talk to. Like,
exactly.
I'm
the
sure
identity
there's
crises that we all had and people
yeah.
already have. Yeah, no, I think that's very important. And I think there's too much potential sitting on the shelf, unfortunately. And it's not like we're not capable, like, إحنا ما شاء الله شاطرين جدا, very capable, very able.
Yes.
We just need to be better and put more energy into actually connecting and doing that. And then also, if you want to do a Dallas screening, I don't know anyone, but I'll find people. I'll let you know. And I have a friend in Michigan. Her name is Ima Rayah, and she started writing, but she's kind of like, I need to talk to her, but she said she wanted to go to the Sudanese Synergy Summit.
Yeah.
So if I could connect y'all, that'd be great. Unfortunately, I can't make it, Lakin. I hope y'all have fun for the rest of us over there.
That's okay.
Thank you again. Very, very nice to meet you, Tariq.
Likewise. My email is in the chat.
Perfect.
If you want to follow me, I have to figure out a way how to share my Instagram on there. My Instagram is the easiest way to get a hold of me as well. How do I give me 1 second? Let me figure out how to share my Instagram profile on.
All right, no worries.
On here. But if somebody wants to ask another question while I do this, I'm listening.
Well, as I said, I failed to raise my hand. So if I can jump in, سناء.
اتفضل أستاذ موسى، اتفضل سامعينك.
Okay, جزاك الله خير. Okay, طارق, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الصلاة
وعليكم
والسلام على
السلام.
رسول الله. لا. الحقيقة يعني أنا أسمع لك في كلامك very encouraging، أنك يعني متحمس حماس شديد، أنك الشيء اللي بتعمل فيه. وأنا حقيقة في السبعينيات back there لما السودان كان very rich culture wise. We got assistance from British Council, from French embassy, the American embassy, and we made up some kind of film group, not the cinema. And we don't create movies or films, but we used to bring some films directly. Actually, those films, I remember, were not shown in the public cinemas and movies. But we sat down every week. We discuss the film, criticize the film, and we go for, and they send it to the person, the embassy that brought it to us. I tried to bring those stuff from that time so as to encourage you to do what you are doing now. Of course, that this seems like if I missed some things, I came a little bit late. You are starting something very difficult, and that is an achievement in itself. So, yeah, it is more beneficial than focusing on mistakes. So put that in mind. I remember we used to talk about that back then. And the best things to do is to finish this film. Just to complete it is more important than waiting for the perfect work. And always people are looking for to be perfect. But in your case, just finish it. That's a great achievement if you succeed to do that. And celebrate the small steps on your way on. Celebrate so as to give yourself some incentives and to feel good about yourself and the group that's working with you. And another point that the first film doesn't have to be perfect. The important thing is it is to be honest and complete. You have proven that you can get started, and that is most important step. So that's I'd like to encourage you that in this sense. The other things that we remember to choose one clear incident in your movies when you try to sum up the whole life. Take a moment, a problem, a situation that can be understood in a few minutes. But then another point also, things that I remember, keep the story simple. One or two characters, one or two locations. يعني ما تعمل ساحة كبيرة وضجة كثيرة، ركز في حاجات صغيرة. And that few sidelines, it's possible to make the execution easier في الفيلم وكده، ما تنشر يعني. تعرف كلمة ما تنشر. Then also أيضا another point, write. النقطة دي مهمة. When you write with visual aim. Don't rely on dialogue alone. فهمتني؟ يعني الديالوج بياخذ زمن وكثير من الناس ما يناي، لكن visual aim يكون يعني stick to the point وسهل الناس يفهموا بسرعة يعني. بعدين أيضا من النقاط اللي أتذكرها plan before you shoot. Make a list. دي طبعا very simple. I think that as ABC, I think in your the work in making films. And focus. This is another point. It is very important. Put in mind. So actually, all the points are important. Focus on the end of the movie in a short film. لأنها the strong ending, it makes the viewer, the audience, وكده, remember the actions. So that is another point. I thought maybe I give you these points, maybe it help you. Now you are starting this, it's a long way to go. and Allah يساعدك والله يسهل أمورك يا ابني. I look at you and I see the North Sudanese after war. It's becoming here and there. We find some young people coming up with so marvelous, very nice and good and ideas in different fields, which is, makes me very satisfied that the future for the Sudan is going to be bright. Seeing you talking right now in this ندوة. الله يساعدك. بارك الله فيكم في اللجنة. Thanks for the لجنة المنسوتة على إثراءنا دائما بالشيء الجديد يعني. بارك الله فيكم وشكرا جزيلا والسلام عليكم.
شكرا لك يا حبيب. Yeah, these are all very good points. It's a good reminder to, in the creative process, to have these reminders. You can never stop learning when it comes to these things. So every single time the points and the lessons come to you, it's good to really bear witness and listen. So I appreciate you for your reminders, and I appreciate you telling us everything that is helping us and reminding us of the factors that lead to success. Let's see. Okay. Does everybody have the donation link? It should be in the chat.
يا اللينك للتبرعات لو الناس تدخل عليه او هو اللينك we shared it twice يعني.
Okay, great. I put my Instagram in there as well, so if you want to connect with me, it's on there. Yeah, this I think. Do we have any other questions, or what do you think we should talk about now, Muhammad?
والله في بعض الاشخاص احنا ممكن نحاول ندي فرص في الاول للاشخاص اللي ما تكلموا، وبعدها ممكن الاشخاص اللي تكلموا للاستاذ سيف لو ممكن. ف... ففي استاذ ناظم، وممكن بعد استاذ معتصم، وبعدها ممكن استاذ سيف.
شكرا جزيلا.
تفضل.
وشكرا طارق يا اخي. انا حتكلم بالعربي، بتفهم عربي مش كده؟
فاهم عربي قوي والله.
كويس. ام هابي انه اول حاجه نقول لك جود لك، وان شاء الله نشوفك next year في الاوسكار nomination for
ان شاء الله ان شاء الله.
I will be there if you اوكي. الحاجه الثانيه ما عارف هل عندك اي محاولات انك تمثل في موفي؟ افتكر عندك القدره انه يعني عندك كاريزما. اوكي. ممكن تكون ممثل يعني قبل كده في افلام. شفت فيلم لتوم هانكس فيه مجموعه من الشباب في عمرك ده ومهاجرين، و في واحد يترشح لل احسن جائزه لسبورت اكتر. الحاجه الثانيه داير اعرف انه يعني مور ديتيل اباوت الفكره بتاعت الفيلم وافكارك بتاع للفيوتشر يعني. وهل ممكن تستفيد من كتاب سودانيين يعني الليتريتشيا زي الطيب صالح، بركة ساكن. ممكن تستعين مثلا بكتابات بيروى عن المجتمع السوداني، مشاكله وهمومه وكده. شكرا لك وجود لك we all with you يعني. شكرا.
والله عفوا. اي الفكره والله احسن اتكلم بالانجليزي عن الفكره دي والله. دقيقه بس دقيقه. where's my video? الفيديو ماشي وين؟ شايفيني؟
يا موجود يا.
Okay. Yeah, I guess to talk about the film a little bit more. Yeah, it's a comedic film that is based on a Ramadan dinner. And just for a quick review, it's a Sudanese guy that's struggling with his mental health, and he decides to fight his uncle at a Ramadan dinner. And it's a comedy because our people laugh about everything. We can't take things seriously. And I feel like comedy is the best way to get people to actually listen to a message. So I kind of live in the realm of dramedies because you can't have comedy without drama. And the best way to get a message heard is through making people laugh, because it's a more digestible way of learning something. People's guards are down, you're a lot less triggered, and you're a lot more receptive to any type of messaging that you would need to receive from any sort of medium. So yeah, it's a comedy. It's a funny little comedy. It's got a lot of Sudanese jokes in there. It's got a lot of American jokes in there. And yeah, I'm really excited to shoot it. And it's supposed to showcase all shades of Sudan, which is why like one of the main supporting roles is I'm actually going to be featuring in this. I'm actually going to be the lead actor in this, and I'll be directing it as well. And the main supporting cast will be a South Sudanese, one of my South Sudanese cousins. His name is Emmanuel Juma. Sorry, his name is Emmanuel. The character's name is Juma in there, and but the actor's name is Emmanuel. He's very funny, very funny comedian. He's is such a great guy to be around. Honestly, I'm so happy to have him a part of this project. And yeah, it's supposed to be one of those films that we can look back on and really feel seen and just actually laugh about. So that is the main goal here. If there's any other specific question you have about the story, I'm more than happy to answer that right now.
جميل جميل. وطارق طبعا حيلعب دور ممثل في الفيلم نفسه، هو حيكون بلاين اكتر في الفيلم كممثل. والفيلم هو بصورة عامة القصة بتاعته هي نوع من الدراما الكوميدية. هي فيها دراما وفيها نوع من الكوميديا. جزء منها إنه الحياة دي الطريقة الوحيدة إنه الواحد يقدر يتعامل بها مع صعوبة الحياة. فكرة الكوميديا مهمة جدا، فكرة الضحك كنوع من أنواع التنفيس برضو. والفيلم هو بركز على الضغط النفسي اللي بيمر به، خصوصا عندنا إحنا ما كسودانيين، لكن عند الذكور برضو بشكل من الأشكال عندنا نوع من أنواع عدم التحكم في الغضب بتاعنا. ففي الفيلم هو بركز على مسألة الغضب دي. والفيلم البلاط الرئيسي أو القصة الرئيسية هي إنه الشخصية اللي هو حيلعبها طارق ماشي عشان في يوم من أيام رمضان، في فطور رمضان هتختلف أو تتشاكل، يعني لو ممكن نستعمل المصطلح ده، مع عمه. ف... فالمسألة هي فيها كوميديا، فيها دراما، وفيها تنشن بالتأكيد، لكن بتحكي عن إشكالات كثيرة بنمر بها إحنا خصوصا في مجتمعات المهجر، في المجتمعات الأجيال. الإشكال اللي بنلقاه دائما اللي هي الإشكال بتاع الجنريشن جاب، والإشكال بين الأجيال الأصغر الأجيال الأكبر، سكند جنريشن فيرست جنريشن. مرات بيكون في ديسكونكت، بيكون في الحاجات دي كلها. فهي بتحكي عن تجربتنا يعني كسودانيين في مجتمعات المهجر، وعن التناقضات بتاعت حياتنا بحلوها ومرها. ممكن ندي فرصة للجاي الأستاذ معتصم، تفضل.
أيوة، السلام عليكم. جميل جدا إنه يعني إحنا نقدم حاجة سودانية. طيب نحن بنقدم حاجة سودانية للعالم. دي النقطة الأهم والمفروض نقدم فيها. طيب يبقى إذا تاخذ الفكرة. أنا بتكلم يعني إذا لما تقدم فيلم أنت بتقدم فكرة ومش بتقدم عمل ولا سيناريو فقط، فالتركيز على الفكرة زي ما قلنا. طيب أنا عايز أدي بعض الحاجات اللي اتذكرت، لكن أنا عايز أحضر. أنت عندك هنا حولك أستاذ باص، ولو ما بتعرفه هو يعني أنا قاعد أسميه مايسترو. عندك الموصلي، دي من ناحية الموسيقى لازم تكون موسيقى سودانية وتصل بصورة للعالمية. واحد اثنين، معك كتاب وشعراء ونقاد وكتاب سيناريو. انت لما تكتب سيناريو تأكد ان السيناريو ده سودانوي. السودانية ليست العربية فقط، السودانية عندها ملامحها براها، عندها الأكسنت بتاعها براها، عندها المفردات العميقة في السودانية اللي بتصل بسهولة. يجب أن الناس تعمل دي، مش مش نتكلم عادي. يعني أنا لو ما حسيت بأنه المفردة دي السودانية ما ححس بالفيلم ده سوداني. كويس؟ يعني العادات، المفردات، التراث، المشهد اللي قدامك السوداني. يعني ما أتكلم عن المشهد، بتكلم عن جميع الايتمز من العنقريب للقعدة. لو لما تحط لي كرسي عادي، يعني ممكن يكون في أي صالون، ممكن يكون في البرازيل، ممكن يكون في الصين، دي ما سودانية. كويس؟ فبرضو عاداتنا السمحة اللي بنطورها، والعادات اللي نحن دايرين ننقذها أينما كان في نص الدراما دي لازم نحتفظ بها. فأنا يعني بفتكر إنه تتعمل ورشة. هسه دي ما ورشة، يعني الرحمة دي هسه ورشة، لكن تتعمل ورشة جلسة قبل ما نعمل أي شيء، وورشة بعد ما نعمله، عشان ممكن في بعض المشاهد ولا المفردات ولا الجمل تتغير. شكرا جزيلا، ما طول.
شكرا لك والله، شكرا لك.
كنت تفضل استاذ سيف الدين، تاخرنا قبلك بس عشان كان ندي فرص للناس، وبعدك ان شاء الله استاذ عامر. معلش
شكرا
just unmute
جزيلا.
yourself.
شكرا
تفضل.
جزيلا. يعني ده ما تقبل، لكن لانه المجال از بروفيشن، يعني مجال بتاع بروفيشن، وبيخش في صميم عمل الزول يعني وكده. انا ما داير اخليها تكون، هو دائما زينا نحن بتكون ما بكون كويشن، بتكون دائما مداخلات زي المداخله اللي عملها المتحدث السابق يعني، وبعض الاخوه وشلالي يعني جزاه الله خير. قبل كده يا اخي، اول حاجه داير اشكركم على الناس من صوت على السيشن ده، وعلى ابننا المخرج طارق، في انه جمعني بزول long time I haven't seen him، يعني اخونا احمد باص is the most يعني musician، يعني professional musician I know him. يعني انا ذاتي فوجئت بانه لقيته هنا يعني. فاحييه من هنا يعني، وده زول مهم جدا بالنسبه لك لطارق از ميوزيشن، زي ما قال اخونا المتحدث الاخير، في انك يو كان يوز هيم في يمكن تكون الساوند افكتس، المؤثرات الصوتيه او الموسيقى، دي لغه طبعا احنا وناس طارق بنعرفها يعني وكده يعني. وفي كثيرين من الارتست بالمناسبه على قاعدين في different states. انا برضو الاخوان عبد الرحمن ناس من سوتا، افتكر انكم فكروا في انه يكون في فورم او لينك للمجموعات دي عشان تو هيلب ابننا طارق. نحن كلنا ناس بروفيشن في المجال يعني. ده مهم جدا، لانه نحن if we cannot يعني able to support him financially or يعني ممكن to help him يعني professionally. طيب بيبقى السؤال بتاعي هنا في كلام يعني some of the يعني الناس الحضور يتكلموا عن بعض المسائل التكنيكال، وانا بتكلم هنا برضو كمخرج. يعني في ناس تتكلم عن انه فكره الفيلم وكده. في يعني انا برضو كمخرج بقول لك يعني في فرق ما بين الفكره، ما بين فكره الفيلم وما بين الفيجن اللي هي الرؤيه. ده بالنسبه لطارق هي نوز وات ام سينج يعني. يعني الرؤيه شنو ليك انت كمخرج من خلال هذا العمل. This is very important. بالنسبه لي انا يمكن يكون علم الاخراج وسكولز يعني ومدارس. في مدارس يعني في ناس بيشتغلوا بالكلاسيك يعني الشغل التقليدي تراديشنال، في ناس بيشتغلوا بالطبيعي الناتشورال ان سكول، في ناس بيشتغلوا بالسيمبوليزم، يعني في مدارس بتاعت اخراج. لكن اهم ما في الرؤيه الاخراجيه انك انت what are you going to say، يعني دار تقول شنو انت من خلال هذا الفيلم. يعني ده it's very important. اوكي انا as far as I know انك انت بتتكلم عن الايشو عن رمضان. السؤال بيبقى التشالنج هنا بيكون انت عاوز تتكلم عن رمضان يا رمضان اللي بيفهم اللي بالسودانيز ايمجز او ايديا، ولا رمضان عندنا هنا في الخارج يعني او في المجتمعات الغربيه. This is very important. واحده من الاليمنتس تحت الاخراج، انت عشان ترن الفيديو ده اول حاجه انت داير تعرضه لمنو، ده سؤال، لانه الحاجه تدخلك في السؤال اللي خدته المتحدث الاخير، انا ما عرفت منه، ما تابعت الاسم، في انك انت if you are going to run a movie or film، يعني انت بتخد اول شيء ككاتب وكسيناريست، بتخد انت بتشوف قدامك الايمج. ما هو الاخراج شنو؟ ما انت بتحول النص الى صور متحركه يعني كويس، بعد ذاك بتضيف لها المؤثرات الاخرى الفنيه الثانيه، يعني ديكوريشن، الاكسسوارز، ميوزك، ساوند افكتس، الحاجات اللي بيعرفها طارق. ف اوكي انا داير اتكلم عن رمضان، لكن داير اقول شنو من خلال الفكره العامه، داير اوصلها شنو من خلال الموفي او الفيلم اللي داير اقوله ده، داير اقول شنو يعني رمضان. داير نتكلم عن رمضان كفكره، الاوبجيكتيف بتاع رمضان الشنو، ولا جست الناس تو از فن وخلاص ينتهي الموضوع كده. انا افتكر دي اسئله مهمه بالضروره. بعد ذاك انا افتكر موضوع الديالوج، الحوار، افتكر انت قلت ميكس حيكون انجلش عربي مش ولا سودانيز، ام نوت شور. فدي لابد ان نعرفها يعني. شكرا جزيلا.
Okay, so let me start by, these are very good questions, first of all. It's very important to see what the main message is versus the vision of the actual film, because they could be two different things. First of all, the message behind this entire film is that there is a ongoing need for better communication between our generation and the previous generations in terms of mental health. And also there's an ongoing need to try to deal with conflict in a better way amongst the older generations themselves. Because a main storyline in this short film is that the uncle has not talked to his sister. Majid's uncle has not talked to his sister, which is Majid's mom, for years. And this tends to happen in our community quite a bit, where we lose touch with each other over the simplest things. And then somebody ends up saying something that they regret. And for whatever reason, we don't talk for 5 years. So this is to encourage not only a better conflict resolution between the older generation and the kids, but also better conflict resolution amongst the older generation themselves. Because with how fragile we are as a people right now, how fragmented we are, it is the most important for us to stay together right now, because we don't know what's going to happen in the next coming years. There isn't an opportunity for us to really go back to Sudan that often right now. And it is the most important thing for us to really come together and try to have better conversations and better dialogue with each other. So my messaging is to figure out a way between our communities across generations and within generations to better communicate with each other for the livelihood of our people. As far as the dialogue, yes, the dialogue will be in Arabic and in English. It will be mostly in English because this will be an American film, a Sudanese American film, but there are scenes in there that are strictly in Arabic, and there are scenes in there that are hybrid between Arabic and English to showcase how we as a people talk naturally. And the last question, what was your last question? You had something to do with... Oh yeah, Ramadan. So the main reason I decided to set this during Ramadan is because this is the worst possible time for a conflict to arise between a family member, but it's also the most likely time at the same time. I wanted to raise the stakes of this. Like, because the whole idea behind this, like when I was writing this, I was just like, when is it going to be the most inconvenient moments? Because usually when these family conflicts happen, when these family like scuffles or whatever they happen at the worst possible time. Literally the worst possible time it could have happened. So that's I thought of it as like a family gathering during Ramadan, this time of peace, this time of sacrifice, forgiving, and being really close to your deen. I thought it would be the perfect environment to showcase how a conflict could arise on this, for the absurdity of it and for the truth of it. And also, I want to flex. I want to flex the Sudanese Ramadan. I want to show people how beautiful and how amazing our food is. I want to showcase that. I'm unapologetically Sudanese. Everywhere I go, I am unapologetically Sudanese. I think we have the best cuisine on the world. I think we have the best cuisine in the entire Arab world. Nobody, and first of all, it's not falafel, it's ta'miyah, all right? Sudanese ta'miyah is the best ta'miyah in the world. So I want to showcase our cuisine. I want to showcase how amazing we are as a people. And what better time to do that during Ramadan? Because there's nothing like a Sudanese Ramadan.
جميل جميل. وطارق، الأفكار الرئيسية مرتبطة هي برسالة الفيلم نفسه، الرؤية السينمائية له، أو ماذا يرى هو، أو الحاجة اللي هو عايز يطلعها من الفيلم، أو اللي عايز الفيلم يوصلها technically. المسار الرئيسي هي مشكلة الإشكالات بين الأجيال اللي بتكون موجودة عندنا، خصوصا للأجيالات مع الأجيال الجيل الأول مع الجيل الثاني. لكن ما بس هي فكرة صراع، ما صراع هو في النهاية، لأنه الناس كلها أهل يعني. لكن الفكرة فكرة الكونفليكت، أو فكرة الاختلاف أو الإشكال اللي بيحصل بيننا، وكيف إحنا مرات ما بنقدر ندير المسألة دي بشكل جيد، وكيف ديبندن على إنه كيف الفيلم حيمشي يعني، كيف المسألة ممكن يعني إدارتها، وكيف إنه يتجاوز الإشكالات اللي مرات بتكون موجودة، ممكن تؤدي فترات طويلة، إنه الأسرة نفسها يكون فيها انقطاع، الأخ ما يكلم أخته، الولد مثلا يكون عنده انقطاع مع والده كده. فدي المسألة الرئيسية المركز على الفيلم، والإشكال الرئيسي هو مسألة الصحة النفسية، وكيف إنه نحن المسألة دي مثلا ما بنواجهها، فهي بتؤدي لنا تزيد عنف الإشكال لما يحصل إشكال. ورمضان طبعا احنا دايما في السودان الناس بترمي كل حاجه على رمضان، على الصيام وكده، فالواحد ما بيكون اصلا طايق نفسه على اسف، فدي بتزيد من التنشن وكده. رغم انه يعني الحاجه مقدسه يعني، وحاجه عندها برضه قدرها. نتفضل ممكن لانه الزمن احنا قربنا من حجز الساعتين، فندي فرصه اخر شخصين رافعين يدهم، استاذ امل وبعدها استاذ وفاء ان شاء الله، ونختم باذن الله.
شكرا لكم يا شباب. الله كلكم طيبين، كل سنة وانتم بخير. مال سليمان إبراهيم عن منظمة كريمة السودان، لوس أنجلوس كاليفورنيا. حقيقة من دواعي سروري إنه أكون ضمن كوكبة طيبة من أجيال مختلفة. نحن شعب غني جدا جدا بكل حاجاتنا الثقافية والاجتماعية، والأسرة بالتحديد محور أساسي في عملنا نحن كمنظمة. وبغض النظر عن فكرة الفيلم نفسه، يعني أنا بشعر بالفخر إنه أنا وسط أولادنا اللي بيسعوا للعالمية عبر سودانيتنا المتعددة الأعراق زي ما ذكرنا. كتر خيركم وشكرا لكم. أنا حابة في كلمة بسيطة أعبر عن دعمنا كمنظمة لكم من خلال قنواتنا اللي احنا عندنا، الويب سايت بتاعنا وباقي القنوات. أنا حتى ممكن أحط لك إيميلي، إيميل المنظمة قصدي. بنقدر ندعمكم من خلال الميديا بحكم مشاركتنا في حاجات كثيرة. دايرة أخذ نفس الشعور الطيب اللي ذكروه الإخوة قبلنا عن أستاذ أحمد التجاني المعروف بباص. كنز، وإحنا تعاملنا معه كثير جدا جدا، وعلى صيغة تماما بأنه داعم كبير لكل أبنائنا. حقيقة موسيقي جاد وملتزم فكريا وفنيا، وبيهتم تماما بتقديم الأعمال الجادة. وأتمنى أنه تتسع صدركم كشباب لكل نصائح الأجيال اللي قدامكم. كلنا تجاربنا اللي بديناها في السودان أيا كانت بتصطدم دائما بالحاجز بتاع الحواجز بتاعت الفروقات في اللغة بالتحديد والأمريكان كلتشر، لأنه نحن جايين من كلتشر بقدر تعددها بنقدر نقبل حاجاتنا، لكن معظم الناس ما بتكون عندهم الجرأة إنه يقدموا حاجاتنا للمجتمع. فدي تجربة أصيلة أنا بفتكر بأصالتكم أنتم كأولاد سودانيين. الأخ طارق العربي بتاعك كويس، أصلك ما تدي نفسك أي إحساس بأنه العربي ما كويس. العربي بتاعك كويس جدا زيك
شكرا
وزي
لك.
أولادين في البيت فاهمينك بتقول في شنو. بندعمكم أكتر وأكتر، وحتى نتمنى إنه نلقى الفرصة إنه نجهز لكم في لوس أنجلوس ساحة عرض بعد يكتمل الفيلم بتاعكم. شكرا لكم، كتر خيركم، موفقين.
شكرا لكم. اوكي،
شكرا لك، تشكري استاذ امال.
اوكي.
ما اعرف طارق، عندك انت مداخله او نقطه تضيف عليها على كلام استاذ امال، ولا ندي الفرصه تفضل.
ممكن والله اول حاجه شكرا لك عن العربي حقي والله. انا عاوز ناس اتكلم عشان اونس تاني بالعربي عشان العربي بيجي شديد. But thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate you. And your support out here would really be helpful. A big part of this production is to try to not only just create a project of a film, but it's also a project to try to bring Sudanese people together and to help to accomplish something. So when people extend their support out here and we see the final product, it's going to be as a result of all of us coming together to do something. And there's something special in getting something collectively accomplished as a community, because it makes you feel a lot more in solidarity and in unification and camaraderie with one another. And that is another major goal of this. It's less about creating a piece of art, but more about creating a moment for our community. And that's the way that I look at it. So any support that you have, I'd love to connect with you about that in Los Angeles. I'd highly appreciate it. My email is in the chat. If you could put yours in there too, I would record it.
جميل. زي ما ذكر طارق، يعني احنا الغرض الرئيسي واللمه اللي احنا ملمومين الليله دي هي لانه نكون كلنا مساهمين، كلنا نكون مساهمين ومشاركين في العمل ده اللي هو بيمثلنا في النهايه، هو بيمثل السودان والسودانيين، وبيمثل جزء من تجاربنا، سواء كانت أجيال صغيره أجيال كبيره، كلنا مرينا بشكل من اشكال التجارب المقاربه للحاجه ما ذكره طارق، يعني عن التصور للفيلم. ف نتمنى من كل الناس تساهم. احنا we already at حاليا 11840. So we hope by the end of this meeting واحنا we will reach 12000 ان شاء الله بنهاية
ان
الميتنج
شاء
دي.
الله.
و hopefully we should share it. يعني الناس لازم تشارك الحاجة دي مع وتوري الناس، يعني توري الناس عن الحاجة، عن ما طرحه طارق طرحه والحاجه اللي احنا نتمنى كلنا نشوفه، وهو في لسون يعني وسي الحاجه دي. وهنكون سعيدين جدا ان نستضيفك عندنا بجاي في مينيسوتا، نشوف الفيلم يعني يا طارق. استاذ عماد شاركت الايميل بتاعي في وانا نوتد، وانا ريسنت اللينك بتاعت الدونيشن، وفي استاذ احمد برضو شارك الايميل بتاعه. عندنا استاذه وفاء وفي استاذ الهام برضو رافعين يدهم، فممكن يتفضلوا بالاسئله بتاعتهم وبعدها نختم باذن الله.
السلام عليكم. والله أنا I'm so excited. يعني أنا يعني زولة عجوزة over 70، لكن يعني لما بسمع في فيلم سوداني أو أي إنتاج سوداني يعني I really get so excited يعني. بس الشيء اللي يعني دايما هو محزن إنه يعني أنا طول فترة عمري دي يعني الكم بتاع يعني البرودكشن السودانيز برودكشن في مجال الافلام والسينما بسيط، يعني شيء يعني بيتعدى في الأصابع، يعني أصابع اليد. فده شيء يعني فعلا، ونحن رغم تراثنا العريق وشعبي جد، يعني ما سهل، لكن إنتاجنا بسيط جدا. وأنا بعرف متأكدة إنه الفنانين والشباب زيكم أستاذ طارق والناس المبدعين كثر يعني، وخصوصا اللي انتشروا في العالم، سواء كان في يوروب ولا المهم في الويست يعني عموما. فعدد لا يستهان به، ومع ذلك إنتاجنا بسيط. فعشان كده الواحد لما بشوف أو بسمع، بس مجرد سمع إنه في فيلم يعني هيتعامل قريب ولا كده، جدا بيكون متحمسين يعني الواحد يشوفه، وبتمنى إنه يعني يصل فعلا المعلومة لأكبر عدد من الناس، عشان الفكرة تنتشر، وبالتالي بعدين يكون في زخم يعني له كده. آه أنا بس يعني حقيقة كنت بس عايزة أعرف، قبل كان في أستاذ معتصم سأل حكاية، لا أو يمكن سيف الدين بيقول، أنا أنا أخذته بطريقة تانية، منو الفئة المستهدفة؟ يعني you are targeting which communities؟ هل السودانيز ولا Arabs ولا الحاجة يعني global؟ لأنه أكيد كله فئة لها اللغة بتاعتها، يعني I mean الموجهات اللي بتوجهها لها يعني كده. الحاجة الثانية مسألة الكوميونيكيشن بين الديفرنت جنريشنز. هل المقصود بها بس الناس اللي في المهجر، دول المهجر، ولا ان جنرال؟ يعني لانه حاسه فعلا في يعني بيج تشالنج بتاعت الكوميونيكيشن بين الديفرنت جنريشنز يعني. وهي ما مساله بس كوميونيكيشن وبس، هو حتى الفيجن بتاع اليونج جنريشنز، يعني اور يعني جراند تشيلدرن، اكيد طريقه تفكيرهم ورؤاهم والفيجن بتاعهم للمستقبل كويس ديفرنت، يعني مش ديفرنت كبير بينهم وبين الاجيال الحاليه. بعدين طبعا مساله الناس اللي في المهجر دي كمان نظر ستوري، يعني دي كمان بتكون مشكلتهم اكبر، لانهم يعني انا مثلا انا حاسه مقيمه في الامارات، فبالنسبه لنا الاطفال كمان، الاطفال الصغار السن اللي هم لسه نقول، خلينا نقول عليهم كيدز بين 6 و10 سنوات، ديل كمان مشكلتهم كبيره. فما بالك يعني الناس اللي فعلا حاسه زيار، يعني في انا بعتبر انهم عايشين في مشكله كبيره عشان يقدروا يتواءموا مع السودانيز كلتشر. وزي ما قبل في حد يتكلم عن الهابتس، يعني تو اليمينيت الباد هابتس. يمكن دي واحده من المزايا بتاعت الواحد يكون في يعني عايش برا السودان، اكيد بيكون بعيد من بعض الباد هابتس. ونحن وي هوب انه فعلا تو يعني نسقطها او تو اليمينيت يعني. وبيكتسبوا يعني they acquire good habits، وحتى بتكون في، خلينا نقول تفتيحة، يعني بيكون بيكون open minded أكتر يمكن من الناس، خصوصا الوقت العصيب اللي حاليا الناس عايشين فيه. فهل الفيلم بيتطرق للأشياء دي يعني كده كلها حتى without details، ولا فقط الكوميونيكيشن بين الأول واليونج جنريشن؟ وشكرا لك، ونتمنى لك التوفيق. واكيد نحن حنكون يعني حتى اذا زي ما عندنا المينز اوف يعني اننا ننشر لكن بقدر الامكان بنقدر ننشر الفكره، وعلى اساس انه الناس تكون مستعده انها تدعم العمل. وربنا يوفقك، ونشوف منك الكثير ان شاء الله استاذ طارق. شكرا لك استاذ
والله
محمد.
شكرا لك، شكرا لك، شكرا لك. Yeah, first of all, thank you. These are very, very, very good points that you brought up. To answer your question about the target markets that I'm the demographics that I'm targeting. Obviously, the primary demographic would be Sudanese people and Sudanese Americans. But the broader, if you look at it from like, if we go out a bit, it would definitely be, East African communities And then after that, it's African communities as a whole. And then after that, obviously, it's immigrant communities as a whole, because our struggles are a lot more connected to other people of color across our diaspora and across other brown and black people's diasporas. Because, you know, it's similar environments in terms of being an immigrant and coming to the United States and having parents from a different part of the world that speak a different language than the primary language of wherever you're at, whether that's in the United States or the UK or Germany, or I mean, I have a cousin in Finland. That must have been a unique experience in itself. So yeah, like, as far as building better habits towards the new generations, I think the success of this film will be a testament to it will be a testament to encourage more success within our community for a multitude of reasons. One, it'll be a Sudanese production made by a Sudanese filmmaker and a Sudanese cast and a Sudanese team. That in itself is Sudanese excellence, and we need to be promoting that. On top of that, just seeing new versions of yourself on screen allows young Sudanese people to aspire to these things. So if this short film expands beyond this specific chapter that it's in, and let's say it turns into a series, we have an opportunity to showcase a lot more characters in the Sudanese diaspora. For example, just to showcase what we can really aspire to be given the environment and the circumstances that we're in. So we could write characters of like Sudanese doctors and other Sudanese creators and showcase their success and their struggles and their trials and tribulations that they've overcome to encourage youth to go for something. Because we don't really have much to look up to across the diaspora. You know, we see the idols that we have is what is learned through an American system or through a German system or through a UK system. But as far as our idols, our Sudanese idols, there needs to be more of them. There needs to be more of them that we can showcase. And it doesn't necessarily all have to be famous people or artists. It could just be normal people, doing everyday life, succeeding in everyday life through their professions. It doesn't have to be some extraordinary feat. Even though we are extraordinary inherently as a people, it doesn't have to be that. And that's an opportunity to showcase that through this short film and beyond.
جميل.
اوكي
تفضل
الفرصة
أستاذ
عندي.
إلهام. تفضل
اوكي
أستاذ إلهام يا.
اوكي شكرا جزيلا للسودانيز كوميونتي في مينيسوتا. انا إلهام عبد الخالق، في الحقيقة انا عم طارق، و I'm very proud يا طارق. allow me يعني اسمحوا لي في السبيس ده انه اقول لطارق publicly انه انا I'm so proud of you يا طارق. you are doing really an amazing work. طبعا we had a conversation يعني مع طارق many times about this، وانا دايره بس اسوق الحوار ده to take it further بسؤال لطارق. طبعا I like the approach, your approach طارق، انه you want to depict يعني a different image for like the Sudanese society and community, and just to escape the stereotypes اللي هي those stereotypes has always been on the media about us, about our songs, culture, food, everything يعني related للثقافة حقتنا. فدايرة أقول لك the personal is political، وبرضو allow me في المساحة دي إنه أطرح السؤال ده، و it may be يعني جرعة بعيدة يا طارق، لكن رمضان ده الرمضان الرابع السودان يمر برمضان في ظروف صعبة جدا، هي ظروف الحرب، وقبلها كان في رمضانات برضو سبقته، يمكن نقول 7 رمضانات لورا السودان يعني continuously كان ماشي through crisis. وطبعا as an artist I know you have your vision، طبعا creation is your own. But for us as audiences, we might have our interpretation of the work. فأنا بس عندي فكرة إنه have you or يعني هل أنت استصحبت في ذهنك إنه this work as an artwork it's also a collective healing approach يعني أنت مستهدف به or targeting السودانيز communities، وهل التايمينج بتاع رمضان هل اختيار التوقيت هو صدفة ولا اختيار التوقيت بتاع رمضان هو برضو مرتبط بإنه أنت عايز يعني تزرع أو تبلانت البذور لفكرة بتاع التعافي جماعي للسودانيين، خصوصا إنه زي ما أنا قلت في البداية إنه الرمضانات الفاتت كانت رمضانات عصيبة جدا على السودان. فبس ده سؤال، وزي ما قلت العمل الفني كل زول ممكن يعين له بمنظوره، لكن أنا very interested إنه أسمع منك يا طارق إنه الاختيار بتاع التايمينج بتاع رمضان هو associated برضو بفكرة التعافي لنا، لأنه أنا بفتكر بعد الحرب دي، والحرب دي المفروض تقيف بعدها نحن والسودانيين حيمروا بفترة محتاجين فيها فعلا لحالة بتاع التعافي. شكرا جزيلا وبالتوفيق يا طارق. وبالمناسبة برضو جاليتنا أنا عملت شير لللينك في صفحتي، فجاليتنا بيسألوني إنه إذا ممكن يستضيفوك، و definitely would like to have you as a guest speaker في تورونتو ولا في هامilton. شكرا جزيلا لكم مرة ثانية، مع السلامة.
والله شكرا لك. شكرا لك يا عمتي. والله شكرا لك. Yeah, you bring up a really good point about the type of Ramadan the Sudanese people have been enduring over the last few years, not just the last 3 years, but probably the last 7, like you said. And I think part of the reason I included this during Ramadan in the story is to shine the light on what we as a people have to endure while our people back at home are also enduring. Because Ramadan is a time of sacrifice. It's a time of forgiveness. It's a time to really, really get close to your spiritual self. And given the circumstances of what's happening in Sudan, in order for us to shine light on what's happening in Sudan, as we take this to festivals, it will be an opportunity for people to really, who are outside of our diaspora, when they watch this, understand the struggles that is happening right now in Sudan. Because a lot of people, like I said before, they don't know much about Sudan. A lot of people outside of our community probably can't even connect that while a war at home is going on, Ramadan is still happening. And for how, diligent we are with our religion, how committed we are to it, Ramadan is not just going to stop because there's a war happening. And I want that specific thought to create something in people when they watch this, because they're going to think about that. They're going to think about, wow, there's been a famine, there's been a war for this many long, and people are still fasting, and people are still doing what they do to honor their faith and their religion. That says something about us as a people. And at the same time, it will create an opportunity for people to understand more about what's going on. So as we take this to festivals, there will be an opportunity to talk about what's going on. And I fully intend on doing that when given the opportunity and given the moment to speak on what's going on in Sudan. I've already been doing that consistently in my current content that I've been putting out on my Instagram and my TikToks. I've already been doing that, but that doesn't mean it's enough. So I'm going to try and use every medium that I have and every opportunity and every stage that I get to shine light on this. So yeah, Ramadan in Sudan is something very special, and it's something that we need to be talking about given the current circumstances. And it's definitely a statement to showcase how committed we are to our religion despite everything that's been going on here and in Sudan.
جميل، تشكر شديد طارق. يعني خير خاتمة ختم بها رغم الوضع الصعب في السودان، لكن ما زال حاضر، يعني ما زال حاضر. وكل الفائدة دي في النهاية وكل الفاعلية دي في النهاية بتصب زي ما ذكر طارق من البداية، هو الحاجة الأساسية اللي هو كان دائما مرجعنا لها، هي سودانيتنا، رغم اختلافاتنا، رغم اختلافات سحناتنا، رغم اختلافات لهجاتنا وحتى اللغات ممكن تكون مختلفة، أو الاختلافات بين الأجيال. في النهاية اللي بتجمعنا هي سودانيتنا دي، واللي بيجمعنا هو روح روح الترابط بيننا يعني. ف فشاكرين لك جدا طارق. أنا ما أعرف أنت لو عندك أي إضافات تضيفها، أي نقطة عايز تختم بها، نكون سعيدين نسمع منك لو عايز. وبرضو أنا أذكر للمرة تانية إنه يعني لازم ناس تدخل وتساهم في المسألة دي وتشارك برضو الرابط، بحيث إنه إحنا كلنا يكون لنا جزء من الفاعلية في المسألة دي. يعني كلنا نكون مشاركين بكل جهدنا وبكل قدرتنا، بحيث إنه العمل ده يتم بالصورة اللي كلنا نحبها بها يعني، وتكون شكل من أشكال التمثيل لنا وحيتعبر عننا وعن كسودانيين في المكان موجودين
أستاذ
فيه ده، سودانيين أمريكيين.
أستاذ محمد،
مم.
أنا كان أرسلت مسج بس
آه ما
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 عرفت أرفع.
سوري، لا ما فيش كاس سوري، أنا بس بتكون ما مرت علي. لو ممكن تفضل الآن أسأل سؤالك.
أوكي. أنا حأفتح فيديو لأنه أنا so excited to في الندوة الجميلة دي. أول حاجة الشكر لناس من سويت الحلوين، دائما بتحفونا بالشغل الجميل ده. هم ليدر في كل جاليات أمريكا في الشغل البروفيشنال بصراحة. معاكم أخوكم مرتضى مجذوب. كنت رئيس جاليات في أيوا وفي نبراسكا والآن في دالاس. أكيد 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 أخونا طارق، ولدنا طارق، حتلقى يعني الدعم الكبير جدا من الجاليات كلها في أمريكا وفي دول المهجر، لأنه أنت لمست لمست عصب أو بيقولوا شنو حاجة حساسة، اللي هي المسألة بتاعت الكوميونيكيشن، خصوصا في تربية أولادنا. ودي الحاجة اللي قاعدين نحن كجاليات بنعمل جاليات وبنعمل وبنبني بنشتري دا يعني جاليات عادية كده أو دار على أساس النقطة دي يعني. طبعا البدايه كويسه، انت حتعمل فيلم او حتعمل دي يعني انا ما اقدر ادخل في تفاصيل الفيلم، لكن نقطه البدايه لما تبدا بعد ذاك المحتوى بتاع الاعلام حيكون حتتناول اكيد قضايا كثيره. واكثر حاجه عجباني انه ايمانك بالقضيه. انا واحد من الناس اتولدت في السودان، لكن عمري اقل من 6 شهور ودوني السعوديه، فكان عندي اشكاليه بتاعت ايدنتيتي، يعني انه انا صغير وما بعرف اهلي وما بعرف وبتكلم سعودي، ما كنت بتكلم سوداني ذات يعني. يعني كل في السودان، تخيل كل سنه بنمشي السودان، وانا اكثر زول حاسي بيكم من ما تتولدوا هنا في دول المهجر لغايه ما الواحد يكبر. انا حاسي بيكم شديد جدا، عشان كده دائما بشتغل في شغل الجاليات، لانه انتوا بتبحثوا عن ايدنتيتي اكتر حاجه. وانا ذاتي كنت باحث عنها وانا صغير يعني. الايدنتيتي انه انا شنو، انا سوداني، انا سعودي، انا شنو يعني، فهمت؟ ف بتذكر لما جينا امريكا قبل 12 سنه تقريبا، والبنات يعني مع المدرسه وكده وهناي، فكنا مركزين شديد على انه التربيه دي وكده واللي هيحصل شنو. فالبنات مثلا بنتكلم معاهم، مثلا تجي الواحده مثلا تتكلم معاك عينه في عينك، وطبعا دي حاجه عندنا في الكلتشر كبيره يعني. نحن الواحد ما بيعين لي امه في عينه مثلا او ابوه مثلا، تمام. فمشينا المدرسه وقعدنا مع المدرسه we sit with the principal and we talk يعني. فلقينا انه دي a culture في الامريكان culture، انه to show respect you have to make eye contact. فده دي قصه صغيره، بتوريكم انه في اختلاف في الثقافات وممكن تعمل اشكاليه. ونحن كرؤساء جاليات دخلنا محاكم كثير وشفنا مشاكل وشفنا قضايا كثير. الميديا اللي انت بتعملها يا طارق دي حتحل حياه كثيره جدا جدا، وحتلقى اكيد دعم كبير جدا. فالحاجه دي دارك تعرفها، فحتلقى دعم كبير. والناس كلها حتقيف حواليك وحتدعمك، وإن شاء الله موفق، والشكر لكل الحضور، ونشوفكم بخير إن شاء الله.
شكرا لك يا حبيب والله. Yeah, a lot of my work when it comes to Sudanese projects centers around identity, because we've had this very destructive identity crisis that has been ongoing for us since way before I was born. There's a song called Ana Afriki, Ana Sudani. That tells you everything. That song came out, I think, in the 50s. So we have been under the subjugation of these identity crises because foreign powers benefit with the dilution and the separation from our history as Africans and as Sudanese people. A lot of my work centers on taking back this narrative. And part of that is starting with this film, because I say this a lot in a lot of the videos. Once you go to my Instagram and you see a lot of the videos I've done already, when a people are confused about who they are, they're easier to divide, they're easier to control, and they're easier to conquer. In the instance of Sudan, our identity crisis benefits everybody that isn't Sudanese. And it hurts only people in Sudan. So part of my goal for my generation is to take back our identity and to reconnect with our African roots. Specifically, that's why I'm a musician, and my artist name is Shabaka Kush, and that is about the Nubian kingdom of Kush and one of the Nubian kings named Shabaka. And I said, once I learned that about my history as a person in America, as I was trying to form my identity as a Sudanese person, I learned about our Nubian roots. And as a Nubian person myself, as that is my tribe, I felt so proud to know that this is a part of my history. But at the same time, I was so angry as to why the world doesn't know anything about this. You know, some of our culture predates Egypt. One could argue that all people came from Sudan, all African people came from Sudan because of how old our people are. And the problem is we are the living proof against the Western version of history that they told everybody. Because if you see Black Africans like you, like us, who have built this amazing culture, then they can't justify any of the things that they have done to people that look like us across the diaspora. We are living proof that we come from a great history. We are living proof that we have very rich culture. We are living proof to this day that we are beautiful, prosperous people. And that is something that it does something to you as a child. When I was a child learning about this, it made me want to strive for greatness. It made me want to be better. It made me want to honor where I come from. And I think centering a lot of my work on correcting the narratives about who we are as a people, and owning our Sudanese-ness, owning everything that is new about us as Sudanese, owning our version of Arabic, owning our history, is part of helping us rebuild our communities and helping us rebuild and take back our narratives. And that is a very, very important thing for me. Because to be honest, I've never felt more welcome. I've never felt better than I am as a Sudanese person. Because every identity that they've tried to put on me, it just never fit. I know who I am. I'm a Sudanese person. I'm from Africa. I'm African. I have a beautiful religion. I have a beautiful language. And there's people that look like me and are different than me who also have different religion. And that's what's the special thing about Sudan, is that we have so many different tribes, so many different shades, so many different textures. And we should be celebrating that instead of trying to allow Western narratives and Western media to paint something that is so simplistic and essentialism about us. We are a very diverse group of people that have a rich history that contributed a lot to this earth and a lot to this humankind. And we deserve our flowers, and we deserve our respect, and we deserve people's support for everything that we've been going through. That is the least that the world can give us back for how much we've contributed.
جميل جميل. طارق، آم، في اشخاص رفعوا يدين وانا ما اعرف انت الزمن كيف. احنا لانه خطينا الساعتين، فما اعرف عندك قدرة ناخذ سؤالين اخيرين ولا وقف؟
يعني سؤال واحد تاني، سؤال واحد ولا
يا
ممكن نوقف، لكن الساعة هسي كم؟
يا الزمن هو بس يعني احنا نعتذر من باقي الحضور، بس لانه هو طول المدة وطول الزمن المسألة
مهم.
خدت ساعتين وداخلين على ساعتين ونص الآن.
أي.
فنعتذر منكم، لكن طارق يعني المعلومات الإيميل بتاعه متوفر، وأي شخص عنده رغبة في التواصل معه يعني هيكون سعيد بالتواصل. وزي ما ذكرنا يعني الناس تحاول تشارك، يا ريت الناس تشارك اللينك وتنشر تنشر الفند ريزنج لينك يعني في كل الجروبات اللي هي موجودة فيها. تسلموا شديد.
Thank you
شكرا طارق.
everybody. والله
شكرا
شكرا
طارق.
لكم.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so
شكرا.
much for your time and for everything.
والله شكرا جزيلا يا أخي. الكلام الأخير اللي قاله طارق ده كلام عظيم يعني بالنسبة لسودانيتنا وكيف نحن
Yeah.
نهتم بالسودان. ده كلام كان تاتشنج كبير خالص، فده بينم عن وعي عالي يعني بالنسبة للأخ طارق أو الابن طارق. فشكرا جزيلا يا أخي. جو أهيد يا أخي أنت ما محتاج لنصايح ولا أي حاجة. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا.